Good evening. So, is someone is going to join, or can we start? Can you ping your friends to join so that like we can start? Okay. Fine. I will start. So, I hope my screen is visible. Can any one of you confirm that my screen is visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Oh, thank you. So far what we have seen is we have seen how to write some basic APIs, and also we have seen this MongoDB, how to connect with this DB, and how to create collections, and also like how to create some data like that. I need to insert some data, right? How to create all these things we have seen so far. So today what we are going to see is we are going to insert a few data into this one. So inserting in the sense like we are going to communicate with our Python to our MongoDB. So today mostly is like communication with my Python to the MongoDB, as well as we'll start with the integrating with the APIs. And how many of you have done that? This one, that practice one we have given, the task which we have given for that ordering like kind of app from the CLA. How many of you has done that? Uh, is it at least did you guys at least started it, initiated it? Just where are you guys on that what stage you are at? Like I can say like how many percentage have you completed on that task? Am I audible? Do you need the session today, or do you don't need the session itself? At least yes or
Yes,
no?
sir, audible.
Oh yeah, I'm audible. But what about the other question which I asked? Have you started this assignment? Like have you started the task, or have you not started? If it is fine to be say yes or no. Like I have started it, I haven't started.
Yes, sir.
That is
Started, sir. Somewhat in the want to
okay.
finish.
Okay. Are you guys able to do that, or do you have any doubts on that?
Uh, yes, sir. I actually finished, sir.
Oh, okay. If you are finished, just share it through Arun or someone who may have like if you have my email, share it to me or someone like put it into a drive and share it to us, or we'll share a drive URL, put with your name, and we'll go through this and see like how you guys are doing on that.
Yes,
So
sir.
I hope so. Like there is no doubt on the task, right? You guys know clear on what you need to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, Call me Rahul. Okay. No
Thank
sir
you.
is needed.
Yeah. Okay, Rahul.
Okay. Yeah, fine. That's great. Okay. So I want this to be a little interactive. Okay. If you guys say at least yes or no, I will get little hope to teach at least to share even more and more. If it is like this, I feel like I'm talking to a wall, and I will eventually I will reduce what and all I'm explaining. Okay. Just be somewhat active. Okay. Like I hope you guys are clear with this API stuffs, and I hope you guys are very clear with Python, and I hope like you guys are clear with the MongoDBs also. So we have our things like without interconnection. So we have seen APIs, we have seen DBs. Those two are separate. Now what we are going to show is we are going to see how we can interact with this DB with our API. So let's say this is the last example for example DB thing we have seen. So it's just to print the welcome text. This is something we have seen in the previous class, maybe two class before. I think yeah, two class before we have seen this one. So this is what we have seen so far. So we have seen like kind of a welcome, kind of see how we can welcome some text to this guy, and how we can save some data on into like a kind of a DB, how we can use some post one. So right now what we are going to do is we are going to implement this methods on top of this kind of classes, like this type of like we are going to implement those things inside this functions. Okay, so the first thing is we need to connect with our DB. So that is our first and main task, right? So we need to somehow connect to our DB. So which is basically running in my local. So right now this is my DB. So this is my DB. This is running in my local. So what I will do is I will drop this one. So I just created for checking. So I dropped this one. So I'm creating a database. So firstly, I'm creating a database. I'm creating called store. So this is something same similar what you guys are building on CLI, right? We are trying to simulate the same in API, and we can see how we can do those things. Okay. And this is my store, and I hope you have a menu list over there. So I have a store, and I store is my database name, and menu is my table name. So I'm creating this. So I'm creating the collection with the table. So now my store and my menu is created. I don't have any data, and I don't want to insert from here. So basically what I want to do is I want to do all this interaction with my API. Clear so far?
Clear.
Great. Okay, fine. So we have our database is running now. So what we are going to do is we are going to connect the database with our Python script. So the first thing is this is a basic Flask application. I hope this is also clear with you guys. Like this is Flask, and we are creating object of the Flask, and then we are running it over here. Okay, we are just running the Flask application over here. Okay, the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to connect with our database. Okay, so to connect with our database, so I will remove most, like I will take out this one. We don't need this right now, and I will do some changes on top of this. Before connecting database, I don't this one, so I don't have a save method. I haven't connected to database. The first thing is I don't want this one also, so I will remove this. Let it be here. And I need to just inform you one more thing, something called underscore name equal to. So yeah. So this is like if you see this kind of block of code, so underscore name is some kind of variable which is Python interpreter itself is providing for you. Okay, this underscore name is going to be your package directory. And if you are running the same file, say like let's say if I'm running from this file, and this is going to give me main, okay, as a result. Okay, so this kind of lib block we are writing only in the cases. So if I run this file from here, let's say if I run from here, then only this block of code will execute. Okay, so if you are running this fun and let's say I'm importing this app inside this fun, those kind of things, this if block won't execute because on that scenario, this name is not going to match your main. Okay, so that won't run. And this app.run will only execute if I run the current file, only this current file. Okay, that's it to be clear. So we are going to run our very first server to make a connection with the databases and to give it exposed to the UI, so that in the upcoming classes we can see how to interact with the APIs and to write UI pages to get the data and show it to the user. Okay, so the first thing is my health check. So let's say I'm going to write API for health check, and what it is going to give is it is going to just return as okay. It is going to do nothing. It's just going to say my server is running. So I hope I will change this to should be. I hope this will also you will be. I hope this is Postman, which you have seen already in our what is that in the API session. We have seen this one also. So I don't. I feel. I think you guys know about this one also. So I'm doing just the health check API. So currently my server is not running. Okay, currently my server is not running. I'm just hitting this health check API from my Postman server. Okay, so I'm getting some error because my server is not running. Okay, this is the main reason of your health check. So basically, if you want to see like whether your server is running or not at the bare minimum level, you can put like kind of something kind of a health check API. So if your server is running, let's say I will run this one. So let me run this. So I ran this one. So my now my server is running, and if I hit this health check API, so you can able to see my server is running. So this is the main like main name of this health check API. So whenever you are writing a big servers, and if you want to see whether your server is running or not, like there is if your server itself is down or not, on that case your health check API will be very useful. So don't put any complex code over here. Maybe you can have something like small checks and all you can over here. So this API is mainly to see like whether your server is up or not. Okay, just for your debugging things when you deploy this. Okay, so hope so clear. I hope so you are clear with this one with the health check. Any doubts you can ask. Any doubts? Okay, the next thing is what we are going to do is we are importing this package called PyMongo. So PyMongo is like a uh, default package is providing by the MongoDB for the client for the Python. Okay, just imported this PyMongo. So to import this, you need to do some kind of pip install. Like I will do thing here. So inside your environment, pip install. I do like this. So you need to run this command. So what it will do is it will install the PyMongo on your current environment. So as I already have, it is saying that this is already satisfied. So at first, you need to run this PyMongo, and then you need to import this PyMongo. So right now, what we are going to do is we are going to what I can say is create a connection between our like a MongoDB and my this API. Okay, so I'm just doing this. Uh, okay, okay, main variable is equal to none, and before running my app, I'm going to call this method called create connect, and it's going to return my client, and this is how it is going to work. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have created a method for creating a connection. So connection is like you are creating a connection, like open connection between your application and your databases. So when you are creating connection is like try to reuse the connection as much as possible. That is one of the things. So right now we are creating only one connection here. So I'm just creating my connection object. So this PyMongo or Mongo client, if I give this one, it will give a client. So client is like some kind of a thing which you can use to communicate with your server. So I got my client, so I returned my client. So this return, so this is going to return the client if it is going to like if there is no error. So if there are some errors, this exception will happen and it will print me what is the error. Okay. So meanwhile, what I'm doing is before even running my application, I'm going to call my method called create connection. So this is going to call this one and it is going to return my connection object. So my connection object will be written and will be saved in my client object. Okay. Any doubts so far? Can you guys say at least faster, yes or no?
No doubts.
Can you explain this? What I said? Who said no doubts? So there is no doubts, right? Can someone explain me what is happening here?
Actually, first initially we import a package PyMango,
Hmm.
then we connect a server with a client. PyMango.mango client. We
Okay. Can you explain what is a try and expert except will do for us? And what is it exception and what is it as ERR and what the print ERR will print?
are
Any idea? Anyone has any idea what that is going to do?
try check the error.
What kind of error? Please don't Google it. Okay. If you know, just tell me. Like I know it. If I don't know, just tell me. I will explain you because I haven't explained you this one. I asked this like guys like did you guys clear out this one because I want to know are you guys are following me or not. So I haven't explained try and exception so far, and there is no doubt so far. Okay, let me re-explain. Okay, at least this time give a little attention, and if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me. Okay, it is better to ask me than a Google, because I also learn from the Google. Asking to Google is not wrong. If you have someone to teach you, just ask them instead of going and googling every stuff. Okay. Yeah. So far, I will give you a little review of what we have done. So we have imported a Flask application and PyMongo as a package, which is used to connect with Mongo databases. And this line is we are creating a connection object for a like this line is creating an object for a Flask application, and I am saving a variable called client equal to none for my further use. Okay, this is a basic get API. So this get API is going to invoke with this endpoint called health check. Okay, what it is going to return is it is going to return the server is running all the time. Let's say if your server is like if your API is up, it is going to return. If your API is not up, it is not going to return. It is like a kind of a check to whether see like you have your is your server is running or not. Okay, once you are deploying your applications in cloud, those areas you may need this one. Okay, for now you don't need this one. Maybe in future you may need this one. Okay, so the next one is what I'm doing over here is I have created a method called create like create connection kind of thing. Okay, so I created like this name is not correct, so it is like it should be like create connection object. Okay, so let's say it is a create connection object for us namesake. I just create like create connection connect because I don't want to write a lot. So here what I'm doing is just forgot about this try and the exception for now. So what I'm doing is I'm calling this line. So this line pymongo.mongo client is going to give me a return of a client object for this MongoDB. So it is going to return this client object of this MongoDB which is running in my local. Okay. So if I want to connect or if I want to connect with something which is running in cloud, in that case, what I need to do is I need to give my host something like 192 dot some IPs which you get in your real-time projects. So you don't run your databases on your local. So it must be running in a cloud. So you need to give your IP over here. So in that case, we are just running in your local. So we don't need to give any IP. It will take the local host. Okay. So this Mongo client is going to give a connection object of my local host MongoDB. Okay. So let's say my MongoDB is not running at the current instance. Okay. So you will get a runtime error. Runtime error is something which when you were running at that point of time, you will get some error. So like right now I have a error. So I removed a parenthesis. This is not a runtime error. This is a syntax error. So it is something big due to a syntax mismatch. Okay, runtime error is something you cannot even think of, like where this runtime error will come, because this is purely dynamic. So let's say you ran your you ran your DB. Okay, you ran your DB. So you ran your Flask application. At that point of time, your system may get hang off, and your DB may close automatically. At that point of time, you may get some error. To overcome this, there is something called try and exception. Is there? Okay. What this try block is going to do is try block is going to execute some code. So it is going to execute a code line by line. So if some exceptions happen, what it will do is it will directly go into this except block. Okay, inside this except blocks, we are taking this exception. So we are getting what exception it is, whatever it is, just give that exception the name of ERR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the exception. I'm going to name it as ERR, which is my error. So it is a short form of error, and then I'm printing my error. So let's say in the future, like you ran this API without even running your DB, then you will get a connection object error. You cannot able to connect to some kind of thing. Okay, this is what the return you will get. Okay, at maybe I will do a print so that you may get to know what is happening. Okay, right now what I'm doing is I'm just creating this connection object, and then I'm just printing this one. Okay, I will stop this and let me run this. Oh my god. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, it is coming as none. It should not come as none. Okay, let me print from here. so that you guys can know. So this is my connection object. So it is telling like I connected to the local host 2017. Okay, let's say I want to make some mistakes. Okay, to make mistakes, what I'm giving is I'm giving host equal to 5. 5 is something that's not a proper host name. Okay, so if I run this, you will get, see, this is the error which you are getting from this point of time. Okay, so I will tell error occurred. Okay, so what it will happen is it will come with this error occurred. This is how your try and exception will be more useful when you are writing a dynamic program, like a kind of a kind of a code, which is going to interact with the user inputs or which is going to do with the real-time scenario. Okay, now are you clear or still having doubts? Anybody any doubts?
If the error is occurred in the try block, then it will go to the except block, right?
Yeah, only if
It will
error
not.
is occurred.
If it then we will do any corrections in the except block or not.
You can do some kind of corrections. Let's say that is to an extent. Okay, let's say you are running this one. Okay, you are running this to connect with your PyMongo, but let's say you don't have a database itself. Okay,
Okay. Mm.
and in that case, right, you cannot do any corrections, right, because you don't have a database itself to connect with. Did you
Oh,
got my point? Okay, like
yeah.
it is like to an extent, like if there is something wrong within your code, you can change. But if it is wrong something with your environment, which is like which is outside your code, okay,
Okay.
in that point of place you will get an error. You got my point?
Okay. Then it will go to the except block.
Yeah.
Then okay.
Then it will do what are the exceptions you are handling. Then it will do like it run this except block and it will come out. Okay.
Okay. Then we can know what is error.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. And you can do all the error handlings also here. It is possible to an extent. So view error handling is like you try to convert a string into an int, okay,
Mm.
but you are
Mm.
not able to convert that. You are not able to convert the string into an int, okay. So in that
Mm.
you will go into exception, okay. In that case, what you can do is you can see is that is you can get only the int value from that, and you can do a conversion of int. So those kind of things are possible, like it is up to an extent, it is to that use case. You cannot do all kind of corrections in that exception block.
Okay.
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 Okay. Yeah, so next thing is like we created a connection object. Now what we are going to do is we are going to connect with this database, and then we are going to insert some values into this menu table. Okay. I'll go. Mm, In the interest of time, I just copied. I had it before. Just copied. Pasted here. Okay. So it is like it is going to be same something similar. So if you can see, I just created an app at app. So this is going to route to my menu, and my method is equal to post. So post method is going to literally say you are going to add something, like you are going to insert something. So I'm going to do some kind of menu on post. So you can do something like this one also. This is also fine, like slash menu slash add. That naming convention is also good, better. And also you can do something like menu with post. That is also going to work for you. So this is going to run with the menu endpoint and in the method of post, and inside I'm going to use the same try and exception because I don't know when it will fail, because I simply don't know what is the use case it is going to fail. So I'm going to write every try block in each and every API to just overcome some kind of error has happened. Okay, so what this try, inside this try, what I'm going to do is, so this is a post, right? In post you can send some JSON. So we have sent this JSON and we have printed this JSON in our previous example. So I'm taking this JSON. So this JSON is going to come as what is your menu, what is something you are going to add into a menu. So which is going to be my structure. Okay, this menu is going to come like in this data, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from this client is my this MongoDB client. From the client where I need to go into this database called store. Inside that store I need to go into this menu. So I will go into this client, store, and menu. I will take this as my DB. So this is my current database. So inside this database, I want to insert into this data the data which is coming from the UI. So the UI is going to trigger this API. So who are going to trigger this one? It is going to invoke this line and it is going to insert the data. If this all successfully happened, what I'm saying is the status equal to true. So the thing has happened, and what is the response? So data is like data inserted. If some error occur, so for now I'm just returning false and some kind of error in the data insertion, so that like in the UI you can show some kind of pop-up error occurred, can you retry, something like that you can do. Okay, so this is what the post API is going to do for us. And where this is running, I hope it is not running anywhere. So let me run this one again. So I am just running my post one and I see no data here. I'm just going to the postman and I created an API called add menu. And if you see my request URL is http localhost 5000 menu slash menu, and my method is equal to post. So it is going to trigger a post method. So my params is empty, authentication is empty for now, header is nothing, and my body, I click raw, and here I click this JSON. Okay, I'm going to send some JSON on to this one. Okay, so what is the thing we are going to save? So our menu is going to have three parameters on, like most importantly, I kind of say for one. So for now we are just going to insert three. So name, price, and description. What is the description of that product, and what is the name of the product, and what is the price of your product? And there is something, another thing important called ID. ID will be inserted by MongoDB itself. So you don't want to create ID and you don't want to maintain that, MongoDB will do that. So you don't want to care about this ID. So only thing we are doing right now is name, price, and destination. And the one more thing best about this Mongo is you don't want to define the whole structure on the start. You can change the structure on the fly, like it is a NoSQL, right? So you can change it. So I'm going to hit this request, and okay, some error occurred. So let's see what is the error. Okay, so it is coming as error. So I just misspelled the name. That is error, I think so. So now I'm giving this post. Okay, this post request is created, and I'm now here. So this is my first line of this one. We are debugging now. So if I give this request.json, I will get what are the JSON which I get it from, which I give from the postman UI. So if I wait, the whole is not coming. So you can see the name, the price, and the description, all three came. Okay, the next one what we are going to do is we are going to take that current database, like which database we are going to navigate from the client. We go to store, then we are going to this menu. I'm going to the next line, and I got my DB object. So this is going to be my store inside menu. So this is the one. So I got this object, and the next one is I'm going to db.insert of data. So I'm going to insert this one data, insert one data into this DB. The DB is this one. So my menu. Okay, let me insert this. So I have inserted this. I come here, and if I refresh here, so you can see my first data is inserted. So we are successfully able to connect our API to the databases, and this is how we can save the kind of data from an API. So, and there is no error occurred. So in this case, what it will do is it is going to return the status. So just run that and then go here, and it is telling that status equal to true, which means my whole API has successfully run and my data is data inserted. So it is giving me some kind of message to kind of user, like what are the pop-up message you want to show, you can put it over here so that it will show into kind of a UI. So I can say data inserted or data inserted successfully, or kind of a like a kind of a message that you want to show in a pop-up. Okay, so this method API endpoint which we gave is going to get a JSON request from the user, and it is going to save into this particular table. Okay, so
Just a minute, Rahul.
Ah.
The call will get disconnected in a minute. So we will have a short break and we'll connect at 7:10.
yeah, okay, 7:10. Okay. Is it disconnected? Okay, so we have seen, we can able to see my name, price, and my description has been inserted here. So what and all which I gave from this API is coming over here. Any doubts?
The details and all we will give in the API only, right?
Yeah, you are giving in this API, right? So you are giving from here in your body.
Okay, okay.
Let's say I want to put something called I'm gonna have this change to 30 and inserted this. I'm just inserting and just running it. It is saying that it is inserted. So if you see here, it is saying data inserted and the response equal to true. I come here, I just do a refresh. You can get a new data insertion has been happened. Clear?
Yeah, clear, clear.